to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and today I want to do a little bit of a book haul. I recently went out of town and got to do a little bit of book shopping while I was away. So I wanted to share with you what I had picked up. Sipping iced tea. This is African Autumn by Harney and Sons, and it's my favorite iced tea. I love to make sun tea with this. So this is now kind of a staple in our fridge for the rest of the summer. Before we get into the books, I wanted to also share, where I got to go away to is Tennessee. Both of my daughters live there. My youngest is married and has 2 kids, so I got to hang out with my son-in-law and my grandbabies as well. My grandbabies that are not so much babies anymore. And I found this. This is a hand-thrown pottery cup with a very kind of wonky little handle, but I love it. And it's the state of Tennessee. My daughter lives, my oldest daughter lives more up toward the top, and my youngest lives more down toward the bottom. So you kind of go kitty corner across this heart in order to get to them. Remind me of them every time I sip from it. All right. Let's do books. I got quite a few that are more kid books, and so I'm going to start with them. First of all, my grandson that I went to spend time with just turned 4, and he loves Little Blue Truck. And Lala doesn't have Little Blue Truck at home until now. So next time he comes to hang out with me, I have Time for School, Little Blue Truck, and I have Good Night, Little Blue Truck. And I found both of these at one of the used bookstores that I went to in Tennessee. I will try to put in some footage, so you'll hopefully be seeing some of that. I also found a picture book of a story that I already own, but I didn't have this version of it, and I fell in love with the artwork. And the artwork is by, I don't know how to say this, Frere Wright and Michael Foreman. And it's Oscar Wilde's The Nightingale and the Rose. The artwork in it is just absolutely beautiful. I also found a book that I own in a board book, but my grandkids are almost to the ages where board books are just too young for them. And this is one of my favorites that we do. This is Dream Animals, and this is by Emily Winfield Martin, both written and illustrated. And it is absolutely enchanting, completely charming. I love Emily Winfield Martin. Here's the end papers. End papers on the other side. They're just winsome, enchanting. I just love it. So happy to have it. So I can pass the board book along to someone who does have that age group. And then I found 2 books that are for maybe a little bit older, but I love them. This one is The Pink Umbrella. This is by Amélie Callot and Genevieve, I'm going to say Godbow. Goubal? I don't know. I think it's French. Illustrations in this are also completely charming. And I just couldn't leave it behind. So I actually haven't read it yet, but I loved it. My girls, when they were little, used to sit and just pore over the American Girl catalogs. And when I was at the thrift store in Tennessee, I found this. This is the American Girl Ultimate Visual Guide, and it's the complete story of how American Girl got started, and then just the different iterations basically that it has gone through. So I'm in love with it, and I know that my granddaughter, who inherited my daughter's American Girl, I know that she's gonna love this too when she comes to visit Lala. I got some that are more middle grade. One I got for free, and I had never heard of this author, but I'll talk about another book in a second where surprisingly his name came up. So this is Orphans of the Wind, and this is by Eric Christian Hogard. I just really appreciate a lot of times these pen and ink, or it could be a woodcut, but I think it's probably pen and ink. This was free. It was outside of one of the bookshop thrift store places, and so I grabbed it. And then I found Edward Eger's Magic or Not, and I picked this up because this is a different artist than I am used to for Edward Eger's stories. They are absolutely charming illustrations. So this is illustrated by N.M. Boder, and they're so precious. I have loved every Edward Eger book I've ever read. I have Half Magic, I have some others. So this one was just a wonderful addition in a different illustration style, and I just really like it. I found A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare Retold, and this is told by Martin Waddell. So I've got a couple of his in here. And so he is retelling this story, and it's being illustrated by Alan Marks. And just so cute. And it's told in prose rather than in play form. But I thought that this might be kind of fun to do for Shorty September and then also Shake-tember. And then I found this one. I have no idea what it is about, but I do know that it is the third book in a series, and I would love to get the first two. So book 3 is Beasts of Grimheart, but this is the Longborough trilogy. It says, 3 young rabbits, Podkin, Paz, and Puck, struggle to keep their ragtag band of refugees safe from the Gorm, twisted beings intent on destroying all that is good, who are ravaging the forest in search of them. A betrayal separates the trio from their friends, and they are discovered by the mysterious creatures who dwell in the dark heart of the ancient wood. Have they been rescued, or are they about to become dinner? So I'd love to get the first 2 in this series. Kieran Larwood is the author, and illustrations by David Wyatt. There's a map. And then we have these kind of illustrations. I need to get books 1 and 2. Then I picked up a couple of older ones as well. So this is called Luck of the Bean Rose, a fairy tale for lucky children. And it is illustrated by Claude Levitt Fraser, but I don't know. It looks like it's originally translated from the French by Charles Nodier. And it's just, the illustrations are absolutely adorable. I got it because of the dedication at the beginning. He was writing it for his daughter as a wedding gift. And they're so cute. Look at this little illustration here. And then this one. Maybe 1921. That's when the dedication in the book was done anyway. It's got there's no publisher information really other than that. I also found Snowflake by Paul Gallico. I pick up Paul Gallico's books anytime I find them. I have yet to be let down by something that he has written. This one was printed by Doubleday in 1953. It is also the same on the naked hardback. So there's it says, "This is a story, a delightful story, about the life of a snowflake who was all stars and arrows, squares and triangles of ice and light. Through Snowflake's special role in the pattern of creation and life, Paul Gallico has given us a simple allegory on the meaning of life. The decorations by David Knight and Reese Lynette lend added charm to this wholly enchanting, read aloud kind of book." So again, I think I'm either going to read this for Shorty September or I'll keep it for the Reindeer Readathon maybe and do it in December. That's all the kids' books. So let me go on to show you some of the others that I have attained recently. I got this in the mail right after I got home, and I have no idea who it is from. And there was no note, there was no indication on the packaging who it was from or anything. So if you sent this to me, please let me know. And thank you. This is Bes Feast by Karen Blixen. And I absolutely love this story. So I didn't own it. I'm very, very happy to have it. This is a Penguin cloth-bound classics edition. And the version that I read from was actually Karen Blixen's pen name of Isaac Denison, or Isaac Denison. I'm just so excited to have this in my hands. So thank you so much to whoever sent it, and please do let me know. And then the other one that I have that was a gift is because Anne from In Search of Wonder sent me a birthday gift, and it was pretty badly damaged in the mail. And so I sent it back to Amazon, and when they credited me for having received it, I went to order another one of the same book, which was Persuasion by Jane Austen. And I'll put a picture of the version that she sent to me. I'll put that up here. But they had it on back order. And so I picked a different book that was about the same price. And it's one that I've wanted for a long time. And that was the Peterkin Papers And I will read to you what this says. Laugh aloud as you enjoy the tales of the Peterkin family. They're a large and smart group, but with not a lick of common sense between them. They'd rather raise the roof to fit a tall Christmas tree. No simple problem has a solution that is too complex when you're with the Peterkins. If it wasn't for the intervention of the lady from Philadelphia, who knows what would have happened. So, thank you, Anne, for the birthday gift, even though it's not the book that you originally sent me. A couple more that I found when I was in Tennessee. I have one that I didn't grab. I'll tell you about it still. I'll put a picture up. But this one is Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles. I absolutely love this Bantam press copy. Ooh, there we go. I love Ray Bradbury. I love his short stories. I love his novels. And this is short stories. These are science fiction short stories. And I'm really, really looking forward to rereading this and reading it from my own copy for a change. I also picked up Ray Bradbury's Golden Apples of the Sun, I think is what it's called, which are short stories that I had not read before, and it is in my room. I'm currently reading it, is why it's in there. And then lastly, in Tennessee, lastly, from Tennessee, I picked up another copy of Their Eyes Were Watching God because I love this cover. And I had a nice copy. My other copy had deckled edges and all of that kind of stuff, but I just love the gold on this. I really love this story. And so, yeah, Their Eyes Were Watching God, Zora Neale Hurston. These ones are me, you know, it's didn't have anything to do with the trip or anything like that. I found a copy of Books Children Love. This is by Elizabeth Wilson with a foreword by Susan Schaefer Macaulay. It's arranged in groupings of types and subjects and that kind of stuff of books children love. And so the one that I'm currently going through, you can see it's like a checklist, and this section is geography and history. There's literature level 2. There are myths and legends. There is dance. So all kinds of different ones, and I'm just going through it right now and checking off what I have already read, and then I want to go back through it. And even though they're books children love, they are also books that I have loved as an adult. And so I'm really looking forward to diving in and choosing some of these to read every year for as long as I want to. I love C.S. Lewis. You guys know that if you've been around here for any length of time. Love his writings. I have never read The Abolition of Man, and it's one that I was encouraged to read when I was homeschooling, or just as I was getting ready to homeschool, but I could not find it. And these are recently being reprinted, and I found this one at a secondhand store for $1.20. So I went ahead and grabbed this one, also very short. This one may be a shorty September read for me. One of my favorite movies when I was watching movies, which I don't do anymore. Anyway, when I was watching movies, one of my favorite ones was The Illusionist with Edward Norton. And it is based on a short story by Stephen Millhauser, and it comes from this book. This is called The Barnum Museum. And the story that it comes from is Eisenheim, the illusionist. And so I'm really looking forward to reading it on page and just kind of seeing the differences and how it might compare, but also reading more of Stephen Millhauser's work, because I'd love to know if the rest of what he has written is as good as the Illusionist movie is. Kilts Diary, 1870 to 1879, and this is life in the English countryside in mid-Victorian times. And this, I don't know if you can tell, but this is an actual little watercolor on the front. I love it. Here's the end papers. Here is his house. And wow, that is so cool. Basically, a diary of all that he was experiencing in each of those years. I think I'll probably be reading this for Victober, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And then I also picked up The Pleasure Garden. This is a National Trust classic by Anne Scott James and Osbert Lancaster, who are a husband and wife. Anne is the one that wrote it, and Osbert is the one who illustrated it. And I'm reading it right now, and I am loving it. I will show you a couple of the illustrations. So here is the monastery garden, but look at these monks. Look at them. They're just funny. One of my favorites so far has been the cottage garden. And there's a little buggy and then the cottage and the garden out front. Really looking forward to finishing this up, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So anyway, there we go. That is all of the books that I have acquired since the last book haul. So thank you again to Anne for the Peterkin papers, and if you sent me Bes Feast, please do let me know. All right. I hope all of you are well. I hope that you are loving your summer. Thank you for joining me today. If there's anything here that you have already read and that you have a comment about, please let me know. All right, everyone. Thanks.